Welcome back everyone to another video. Today I've got something kind of special for y'all, and this is going to be quite a battle that takes place here. So I apologize that I haven't uploaded a video in quite some time. Life's just been crazy busy. Work especially has just been really kicking my butt, and I just haven't had enough energy to be able to make videos. But here I am. I am finally back. Going forward, though, I do want to talk about some videos real quick. Going forward, there's going to be a lot more variety than just, of course, World of Tanks, and you guys know the content that I usually make. I am actually building a PC, and I have the first half of my parts are coming this weekend, so I'm really excited about that. And then the rest I'm going to order this weekend as well. Once I make sure that everything is set in stone. So I should have a fully working new desktop that I'm building, and I'll be able to play a lot more games and stuff like that. So that'll be done, hopefully, but a little bit before Christmas time. But yeah, I thought I'd just let you guys know that's what's going on. So anyway, we spawned on Muravanka, probably actually one of my favorite maps if you exclude Provkorovka and Melanovka. So anyway, I decided to pull the trigger there because I'm not going to get lit. There's nothing close enough that's going to be able to spot me, at least through any of these bushes. So I do have Gman right behind me, and so his goal is to try to make sure that he farms as much damage as possible that I spot, and he's going to do an absolutely fantastic job of doing that this entire match. Me and him are going to work together, and as you probably saw from the thumbnail of this video, me and him combined, if you take assistance damage as well, we're going to be able to get 17,700 damage combined, if you add it all together. So me and him alone take out most of the team, and the only reason he's able to do that is because I'm able to spot for him, and I also have a gun too, but I don't really use it this match. But we have had matches very similar like this that weren't nearly as intense, so to speak, and it's an absolute menace. This platoon is just a Leopard and an EBR. The Leopard has, of course, DPM, has just an insane gun, insane camo, great mobility, so he's able to move around the map as much as he needs, and I'm able to do the same, obviously, because I'm playing an EBR. So he's actually a really good EBR player. He actually 3-marked his EBR, if you guys remember that. That was an older video. If you want to go check it out, go for it. I'll leave a link down in the description for you to see it. So now I just have to play passively, let G-Man farm as much as possible. Hopefully the enemy makes mistakes and peaks, and that's exactly what we're going to see here on and off throughout this battle. So right now it looks like we've kind of won the zero line, but we can't really do a whole lot, because if we push into that, we're just going to be getting into a really big crossfire, especially with that 4005 right there. We have lost West, unfortunately. But they are going to manage to hold, because it is a fairly easy position to defend as long as the enemy overpeaks. So we are getting some nice spawning. We're already up to 3.6k. So I asked G-Man to go ahead and see if he can farm the VZ, and he does get us 2 nice high rolls. So that's over 1,000 spawning already. So now we're up to 4,000 instantly. I'm not exactly sure who's perma-lighting this 4005. I think it's G-Man, actually. And then, as far as I'm aware of, I didn't light that Leo or that Sturv. It was actually G-Man who did, so he spotted for himself, which is totally fine. Not a huge deal. We are pretty much close to even on HP at the moment. And again, there's not really a whole lot I can do. I was considering asking G-Man to see if we could fall back and defend base, but they, like I said, they have it, so there's no reason for us to move right now. I'm hoping maybe here in a second I'm actually willing to go down 9-0, and actually just as I was thinking that, J-Man was like, you could probably go, there it is, so he pinged the location, he's like, you're able to go there. Me and him were actually in VC on Discord, and he was telling me that, and yeah, just the team, just with his knowledge of what's going on, and he's able to read the map a little bit better than I am, of course, and just us two combined in these tanks is just absolutely menacing. But yeah, so oh yeah, one thing I want to speak of too. You guys won't have to deal with these crappy frames, the crappy graphics anymore when I make WOT videos. And like I said, I plan on making a lot of other content too, just besides WOT. Like I want to do Phantom Force is a little bit more, and I want to do, of course, Farming Simulator is probably going to be the most. I'm going to buy Farming Simulator 22 once I get my new desktop, once it's all fully and running. So, if you're interested in the specs, I'll make a video about that later of the specs of it and everything, and what I'm getting and why. But anyway, back to the video. So, West is still holding, which is good. I was hoping to maybe get a shot on the 4005, but I don't want to fire just yet because they do have a stir back there. Yet, I was actually really considering if we could get, like, the other Leopard and the TVP commit. I was talking to Jim, and I was like, maybe if we could get them to commit, we could actually rush that. But he says it's a really bad idea. However, we have another problem that just popped up. That Bat Chat, if he kills Gman, then I have to fall back. Then I'm kind of stuck. So, I'm willing to take a shot and risk getting spotted to save G-Man. I may lose a shot or two of HP, but I'm not too worried about it. I actually do end up killing the Bat Chat there because I don't want G-Man to die, because G-Man, pretty much, like I said, he literally spots everything that I shoot, and then, of course, he gets like 2 or 3 shots of his own that he spots for himself, early in that battle. But other than that, everything I spot, G-Man pretty much does damage to. So there's a patent here that's crossing. I'm actually very fortunate that this tree is enough camo in order to protect myself from being spotted. So I'm very glad that I did knock it over. Because right now, if I wasn't in this bush, that patent, if he peeks a little more, he actually would be able to spot me from the angle. Unfortunately, there already does kill him, and so does kill our E100, and so that gives me time to be able to turn around and run away because there's nothing else I can do. And because all we have now is a 4005 on the east, I can't really do anything here anymore. I mean, I could, but it'd be a waste. Their patent does put a round into me. And the 4005 is starting to look at me, so I need to get out of here as quick as possible. So pretty soon here, once the patent is no longer able to be spotted, once G-Man can't shoot him anymore, at least, then I'm going to have to go and see if I can help our 4005 there on the west flank to see if they can spot. Surprisingly, they're not pushing, which I'm kind of shocked about, to be honest, because they probably think that some people are still on the 1 line, like the CB1 maybe. Or maybe even A3, because sometimes people can hide there as well. I'm not entirely sure, but that's actually a good thing, because then that means that we have an extra tank watching the back, and as long as he's alive, we know what's going on there, so we know that they're not rushing. So I go again, I spot the patent, and 2 of my allies, including one of them is G-Man, of course, are able to put some rounds into him. So now that leaves us nearly 5k spotting. I was considering going to go rush the patent, but G-Man pointed out that the Sturf would just rip me apart, and the other guys too. I didn't believe that the other guy was still there. I'm talking about the one that K0, or I'm sorry, K8. I think he actually did fall back, but the Stritzfan was there. I don't exactly know when the Stritzfan fell back. I believe it's actually when I go to the west flank, which I think is finally where I decide to head back there. But yeah, as long as the 4005 is alive, we, for the most part, are okay, because he'll be able to do some damage. He's out in the open enough to where he's able to do something. Of course, he'll die, but I'm not too worried about it. So the threat spawn is there because we verified that because we did get spotted there. And there's nothing else that would have been able to outspot me like that before. And so, yeah, now it is finally time to head to the west, and we're going to try to spot our other tanks there. Our TVP is making kind of a really bold move. I actually do spot Artie there. I'm surprised he's there, and I was telling G-Man I was going to kill him, but there's no need to. My allies are just going to do it for me. So now I'm going to try to peek this ridge here a little bit, try to see if I can spot. I do proxy the VZ. I actually could have killed him, but I was too worried about the 4005 being like right next to him, or the E100 too, for example. But they actually fell back, believe it or not, to where this VZ is. I actually end up getting really lucky here at the end. Like, I've never been so lucky in my life. You guys will see that here pretty soon. But for now, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not going to get over-peaked. G-Man is watching to my right there from the east, so he is able to shoot what I spot. There's the 4005. Thankfully, he misses. I think even if it didn't hit the hill, I think it actually still would have missed just by like a hair. So I was actually going to try to maybe get a shot into the 4005, but Gman tells me not to, which is probably the wise idea, because I don't know where the E100 is right now. I don't know where everyone else is at the moment. So now I'm just going to peek the ridge. J-Man suggests me to try to spot from the 1-2 line, which is exactly what I'm going to do, but I do make a mistake here. I should have gone all the way around up to like B2 and then crossed over at B, and I actually do make a mistake here, and I go to the right here, and yeah, this is where I make my mistake, is peeking that. I tried to escape, but I realized it's too late. I wasn't paying attention, and unfortunately, I do get punished here. So this is a really sticky situation, and this is where my luck just really becomes extremely high. You'll see an RD Tracer. Yep, there it is. And that was extremely close. That could have killed me. He wasn't using the splash round. He was actually using premium HE, I believe, or AP. And you'll see why I know that later. But there's the VZ. He's trying to peek me. My hope is to try to get across, but I can't because, again, I'm a one-shot to both of these guys, to the E100 and to the, of course, you know, it's a Death Star, so he's going to one-shot me regardless. But also the E100 as well. The E100, it doesn't matter because even with his 500 alpha gun, he'll still kill me. So there he is. He's actually pushing. I caught him just in time. And he does get his gun high enough to where that allows me to shoot him. Unfortunately, it doesn't penetrate, but the 4005 misses. G-Man kills the VZ. And the E100 hits my wheel. I turn to the side just enough to where he doesn't hit my front, and I track the E100 again in hopes of getting damage, but I don't. But I do end up getting some tracking thanks to G-Man and to our 4005 as well. So now we're up to 5,500 spotting, and my goal now is just to try to run away a little bit, try to reset my camo, and try to spot the ridge again, so that way G-Man and our other 4005 right there can hopefully farm some damage. And our Leopard, he's going to help me a little bit. He's going to try to peek the ridge, maybe get a couple shots on. There's the Leopard. And so I'm just going to drive around this hill here, just keep peeking the ridge, try to see if I can spot them for as long as possible. The Sturf actually did move. There he is. I think that was actually me who spotted him. And I wasn't paying attention. I didn't notice him just until right now, until I turned around and saw him. Like, oh, there he is. Unfortunately, we're not able to put a round into him. Again, because it was too late, so I was really confused there. But anyways, so now I'm just going to try to be very careful here. They still could be over this edge, so I'm not going to peek it too much because I could just immediately die. G-Man's like, okay, let's push 1-2 line. We can flank them from there. And I'm like, okay, let's go. So now we're moving in. And I do get very lucky and unlucky here. So here, first I get very unlucky. So I spot both the IRDs. G-Man's unfortunately does fail to pen. I do somehow miss that shot. I'm not sure where it went. I did think it went to the far right. But here with this Artie, watch this. Again, with my wheels. Artie hits me with AP, and it hits my wheel, guys. It just hits my wheel. What an absolute amazing luck shot that was. Because he would have killed me if he hit me otherwise. So that is just absolutely beautiful. G-Man's like, okay, we're running out of time. The clock is running out. So now G-Man's like, just YOLO, just YOLO spot. Because I have support from him and our other Leopard and our 4005. So now I'm just going to go and try to find the Sturv. And he actually pops up. He actually didn't move. I accidentally hit his front. I think it was a little delayed there, so it hit his front instead of his side, which was where I was aiming, which was kind of stupid, but it's fine. So now we're up to 6.8k combined, and by now, I think G-Man was screaming at me. He was like, hey, I have, I think he said he has 8k damage, and he's going to end up with nearly 8.5k. I actually don't remember what I did to press that button, but I had to fix it. I think I accidentally pressed tab. I'm not sure what program that is. If you guys know what it is, let me know. I'm actually really curious. I didn't feel like re-recording this whole video. It wasn't worth it. But anyway, so we're gonna move in and spot the Leopard. The Leopard actually, from what G-Man was predicting, he said he's either at A1 by now or he's either at A0, which is a very good prediction. But he's actually in the middle, and I actually am the one that ends up spotting him. And G-Man does have HE loaded, and I do end up getting 7,000 spotting, guys. What an absolute amazing game. Just the teamwork between us two. We were able to clutch this. Thank you for watching, guys. Let me know what you guys think, and hey,